G'day. Big news today, fellas, and if you haven't found out, you might want to take a seat. Jack Smith has stepped back from supercars. And to a lot of people, that might not seem like a lot, but to me personally, I was a big fan of Jack Smith. I love Jack Smith. There are a lot of parts of my channel identity that I've revolved around Jack Smith, and it's personally sad to see him step back. It leaves one more seat available for the silly season, the kerfuffle that is the silly season, but let's just go through it. He's announced that he will be stepping back from full-time supercars competition after this week's Adelaide 500 season finale. Smith made his debut in the Supercars Championship in 2019 with a number of wildcard starts with BJR and an enduro campaign at Matt Stone Racing. He became part of the BJR fold on a full-time basis in 2020, now has more than 50 event starts. A lot of people make fun of him. There are a lot of drivers who you can't support really without getting made fun of. For example, if you go to a Facebook comment section right now, there will be hate for this guy in that comment section. There will be, oh, good riddance, good, this guy is so bad. And every time he did anything, the comment section would just be littered with hate. Is that his fault? No, he doesn't deserve a lot of that. And he's not the only one, if you don't support a driver who's constantly up the front, they kind of get made fun of all the time online by people sitting behind a chair who personally could never do that stuff. Jack Smith he's not doing the worst. He hasn't had many crashes. As much as everybody likes to talk about his crashes, I'm fairly certain he's had less crashes that have been his fault than SVG this year, which, that says something. He hasn't really had big shunts. He's more been involved in other people's accidents over this year. But yeah, this isn't a decision we've come lightly. Supercars has been a big part of my life. I came into it when I was quite young and have really grown up in the paddock. I can't thank everyone from SCG, logistics crew and the team at BJR enough for everything over the past 7 years. We've all set out on this ride together and it's been quite a learning experience for all of us. I've been with BJR for basically my entire career. It's very, very sad for somebody who supports him like me. He triumphed in the Super 3 series, worth mentioning. He did also win 8 races along the way to that championship. He won the 2018 and 2019 New Zealand Touring Car Championship. So it's not like he doesn't have that skill. And I genuinely think he would be a great driver in a sort of a GT sort of racing league. Something where he could be sort of, part of a team and just be a solid driver. He did sort of make that statement. And then there was also the willingness to come back as like a enduro or even a wildcard driver. So there is always a chance that Jack Smith could be back in supercars. But it looks like this weekend will be the last Jack Smith Saturday. Incredibly sad. I know, once again, I know that there are a lot of people who support him just for the bit, but I genuinely love this guy, genuinely support him, and it's sad to me that he's going. Now, we come to the final part of the video where I talk about who will take Jack Smith's place. Now, there's a lot of drivers in the market right now for one seat. That seat will probably be pretty hotly contested. You got Declan Fraser, who is out of a seat. He's not going to get that Tickford seat because there's only 2 and there's 4 drivers going into 2. It was never going to work, especially with Randall and Waters, such a fire combination that. Declan Fraser, he's been in the series for 1 year. It'd be rough to see him go, but there's always that seat at BJR. Whether he'll get it or not, he's going against Todd Hazelwood, who did really well at Brad Jones Racing. Todd Hazelwood was there back over COVID. He's been at a few teams. He's done a lot of traveling over the years, but Todd Hazelwood was really solid with the team, and he proved to be a really good driver. Those 2 are my sort of main picks for that seat. But there is also the off chance, somebody else from Super 2 does make the step up. There have been a lot of good pilots in Super 2 this year. There have been a lot of good drivers. And obviously, Bradley, he keeps an eye on that. He does have a lot of people that come through the framework that he gives a shot to. He's like Gary Rogers back in the day. Every good driver really came through Gary Rogers. So it is worth keeping an eye on that seat. I do expect, personally, I expect it'll be Todd Hazelwood. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. That said, there are a lot of drivers who sort of only have one seat to work with. So you genuinely never know who it's going to be until it's announced. Knowing my luck, it'll get announced like 2 hours after this video, so keep an eye out for that and you can thank me later. A few other things, the Gen 3 supercars have arrived in the USA for aero testing. Obviously, parity has become a really big discussion this year. Nobody wanted it to be a thing. Nobody wanted it to be the buzzword that it has been this year. So they're taking it all the way to the US for aero testing to sort of properly work it out. I believe at the same time they're going to be scanned by iRacing. They haven't been scanned as of yet. So I believe that while they're in North Carolina, they're in the States, that's where iRacing is based. It makes it more affordable for them to scan it if it's over in the US. I believe that's when we'll get it. 2 Gen 3 supercars have touched down in the US ahead of wind tunnel testing next month. So, hey, hopefully next year we don't hear a single word about parity. Supercars confirms the live pit lane order, which is genuinely a garbage decision. It's genuinely garbage. I cannot get this. I cannot twist this. It's garbage. These teams, Erebus and Triple Eight have been fighting so hard this year, not only for the Drivers' Championship, but for the Teams' Championship. That's so important. And it's announced late in the year. They're changing it, the live pit lane order. So basically what it is, your position in the championship determines where you are in the pit lane. First in the championship gets the first pit bay. That means that they have the sort of most dominant position on the pit lane. They can leave their cars whenever they're out, and they have the sort of view of the whole pit lane. They can use that before they send out their cars in a pit stop to sort of always get in front of their opponents. And then you go, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down the pit lane until last in the championship, which for the past few years has been BRT, a one car team. It's always going to be last. However, now they're going to live order, which means that every race, or I think it's just every weekend, because every race will be impossible to do, but every race, they will be switching the friggin' teams' garages. So you could have Erebus, Triple Eight, DJR, whatever, and then all of a sudden, Erebus is in the middle of the pit lane after, one race weekend. Triple Eight's like fucking third, DJR's like fucking last in the pit lane or whatever. It's genuinely garbage in my opinion. I don't understand why they've gone to this. I don't understand who thought this was a great idea, because it just isn't. This has gotten a lot of criticism online. It's been in the works for a while, but now it's been approved, and I don't think many people are a fan of it. I just don't think many people are a fan of it. In other big news, Adrian Burgess has exited Supercars. Supercars has formally confirmed that Adrian Burgess will step down from the head of motorsport role early next year. He's played a pretty pivotal role in Supercars and management over the past few years, but it doesn't look like he's 100% out. As we look here, Burgess is linked to Team 18, so it looks like he will be making that jump to Team 18 instead of being in Supercars management. So Team 18 is really on the up and up. They're going to have Winterbottom, they're going to have Reynolds next year. It looks like they're going to have Adrian Burgess. Looks exciting, that's what I'll say. That's all we've got time for. I will be hopefully putting out a video in sort of preparation for Adelaide, but until then, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.